So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So what I have here is the most anticipated luxury crossover of 2023. This is the all-new BMW X1 sDrive18d. So this is so far the only variant available here in the Philippines, and this is my first ever BMW X1 review. Well, sadly I never toured the previous 2021 model. However, I did drive it, so I do have some experience with it. And looks alone, I'll be honest, this one is slowly growing on me, but if I were to choose an X1, it will still be the 2021 model. However, seeing this now first time in the flesh, yeah, I dig the look now. So you get an all-new look here, and this is the first BMW that I know of apart from the BMW 1 Series. This does not have an active kidney grille, but yet again, like with all modern BMWs now, you get massive grille over here, a lot of gloss black stuff, and surprisingly, wheel vents here on the side. And ground clearance is now 183 millimeters, which is 20 millimeters more than the previous generation. And yeah, there are a lot more character lines here and there, and there's like a big dip here on the hood. Comparing to with the previous generation X1, I do prefer these wheels over the latter for obvious reasons. Just look at that, they look like tomahawk axis in my opinion. And on the side profile tool, carried over from the older X1, there is cladding. Well, cladding because everything here is gloss black along with silver trims. So you get LED adaptive headlights up front, LED repeaters. So biggest talking point with this BMW X1 is the engine. So if you all know from my BMW 1 Series review, I am not a big fan of DC vehicles, but this is one of the few cars I am willing to give an exception. So open the hood up of this BMW X1. It's a 2-liter twin-scroll turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that produces 150 horsepower and 360 Newton meters of torque. So that's more or less like 2 horsepower more than the previous generation. However, the biggest change now done with this new X1 is the transmission. This one now is mated to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission compared to the previous 8-speed automatic transmission. So here now at the rear of the BMW X1, a lot more design changes right here. So you get massive LED taillights over here, and then a lot of gloss black and silver trims here on the bumper, but at least there's no like fake diffuser going on over here at least. So you get an X1 badge here on the left side and the brand designation badge here on the right side. Reverse camera over here. Not a lot going on here on the rear. I mean, there's no like gloss black for the spoiler here and there. So this X1 is catered more on the family side of things. This is actually my new favorite BMW at the moment, since sadly BMW Philippines already killed the 1 Series hatchback. Why though? Anyway, so if you're an OG of my channel, if you remember, my worst enemy with BMWs is the kick to open function. However, with this new X1 and probably all new BMW models, it is much easier than before. There, one take. So there's a lot of ways you can open the boot with the kick to open function, with the key, and the button there in the door card on the driver's side. So the total boot space with this BMW X1 is at 550 liters, more or less the same with the previous generation BMW X1. And folding down the seats is a little bit of a hassle. So on the rear seats, I was expecting latches on top of the seats itself, but there are actually individual straps on each seat. So this is the other hassle. So I was expecting a 60-40 folding style for the rear seats. However, you have to fold all the seats down one by one. So yes, it might take time to get used to because the central armrest will stay behind. So yeah, at least you can fold the center armrest in case you're carrying longer items. So stuff here in the boot, you have net storages. Net storage only here on the left side, a cubby space, and an LED light along with a 12-volt socket here on the right side, a tonneau cover, and underneath, you have a underfloor storage. You can fit a lot of stuff. I mean, here like for your first aid kit, standard on all BMWs. And finally, the total boot space with all of the seats down is at 1,600 liters. So yeah, that's about it with the exterior, the boot, and the engine of this all new BMW X1. Let's have a closer look at the interior. Can you kick to open? Oh, you can. Not a surprise. So this is the interior of the all-new BMW X1. So, compared to before, okay, the interior here is a little bit of a mixed bag for me. So, there are some areas, it's so simple, and then there are some areas, it's so complicated. So, let's start here like with all new BMWs now. The 10.7-inch infotainment system, aka BMW's iDrive 8. So, yet again, my favorite complaint, like with almost every new BMW, to turn off the air conditioning, you have to do it all here in the infotainment system. There's no separate button here. Only buttons here for this, weirdly, this lone air conditioning vent right in the middle are the heater for the front and rear seats. Here in the door card, it's okay. All the quality here and there. There's like soft squeegee material, leather here, cubby spaces and cup holders on each side. A water bottle just fit. And like what I said too, with the boot, you have a tailgate button right here on the driver's door only. So one thing I missed as well in the rear of the BMW X1, there is a small fake vent on either side, but that's just it. So with this design in the interior, I mean, look at this door handle. I mean, it's really fancy, but I'm not sure if it's really necessary, just in my opinion only. And like here, again, back to the infotainment system, yeah, everything has to be controlled here. You have your service requirements, my favorite ever feature with all BMW. However, improved from the BMW X1 is the reverse camera. So yeah, there's a lot of modes. Sadly, it's not a 360-degree camera. However, you have 360-degree sensors all around, at least. So the quality of the reverse camera as well improved from before. I nearly backed up there. Whoops. So here on the left side of the dashboard, you have an air conditioning vent, some ambient lighting, let's not forget, and all of your light controls are just down here below. There's no extra storage here below the dashboard for some reason. And then here you have your 10.2-inch digital instrument cluster. So yeah, there's a lot of modes here. And then here in the steering wheel, it's very fat like with most normal BMWs, but it's still nice to the touch at least. So you have your cruise control functions here on the left side and infotainment and volume adjustments on the right side. So notice the simplistic design here. Yet again, I was trying to reset the fuel economy for my test drive later. I cannot find it anywhere here in the cluster or the buttons here. So yet again, you have to do it in the infotainment system. But since this now being BMW iDrive 8, you have your personal assistant, which for some reason is much better than the ones I tried out in the 735i and the 318i Sport. So listen to this. Reset my fuel consumption reading.
Do you really want to reset all journey data, such as average consumption?
Yes.
Okay, I will reset the journey data.
Thanks, babe. See, that's much better than some of the systems for some reason, unless there was a software update given by BMW. So back here in the interior, below the air conditioning vent, you have a wireless charging pad with a stopper, which I really like. So you literally can fit any phone over here. I think even tablets will fit here, but kidding aside, further behind you have two cup holders with a bottle and then two USB-C ports. And then below the center console, you have a large storage space, so you can fit whatever you want over there. Oh, so back with the infotainment system, unlike with the previous BMW X1 too, this is now equipped with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Good job, BMW. And then here, the biggest talking point with this all-new BMW X1 is this center console. So it looks very similar like the one I've driven with the BMW iX. So all of your driving stuff will be placed over here, even for your engine start-stop button. So it was a little bit weird for me earlier. I was finding the start-stop button here on the dashboard, and as well your hazard button. So anyways, at least I got used to it pretty quickly. And then above here, you have your touch sensitive lights. A little bit slow to respond, but it's alright. And then visor, your vanity mirror with halogen light. I don't mind it, I guess. Don't extend still, come on. Then what else? Glove box. That's pretty decent. And then here, center console box. This is the smallest console box I've ever seen. So you literally just put money and some tickets in there. So as well, the seats here, pretty good on the sportier side of things. Look how much bolstering there is. Of course, it's a BMW. So one honest complaint too with this BMW X1, it's just a small nitpick of mine. There is only one interior color option for this X1, black. Anyway, so yeah, that's about it here in front of this all-new BMW X1. Let's check out the rear seats. So these are the rear seats of the all-new BMW X1. So here in the door handle, there are ambient lights, same as the ones in front. And then you have that funky door handle yet again over here. Same cubby spaces and cup holders on either side. A water bottle will just fit. And then space here in the X1, comparing to before as well, this all new BMW X1 is little bit taller, wider, and longer. In all aspects, the space here massively improved from before, from my feet room, my knee room, and my head. It is way better than before, so pretty happy here for a happy family. You have net storages on either side, and then in the middle you have two air conditioning vents, two USB-C ports, and a place here for your phones. I guess, no idea what you put here. Then same layout like in front, you have your touch sensitive lights over here, not sure if you can see it. And then the seats here, yeah, same as the ones in front. And of course, you can fold down the center with this strap. There, pretty much it. And as you can see, you have a central armrest with two cup holders. So yet again, they fit a water jug, and there's like rubber grips around them too. And I haven't said this in a while too, you have two pop-out isofix anchor points on either side. So yeah, that's pretty much it here with this all-new BMW X1. Let's have a drive. So driving the all-new BMW X1. So first thing I immediately noticed, so going forwards and backwards here in the car park, I noticed it's not that jerky. BMW never stated if this is a wet type dual clutch transmission or a dry type, but nevertheless it's still a dual clutch. So going forwards and backwards, I tend to notice it's not jerking so much, surprisingly. Alright. Then here over a hump. Okay, seems to soak them up pretty well so far. So let's go to the rocky part here over in Eaton Centris only. As well, the acceleration time improved. So this is now at 8.9 seconds compared to the previous one's 9.2. And handling wise, so far so good. So I mean, just in the personal, so this I assume is the normal mode. So the sting is actually really light. So there's like little to no feedback for it whatsoever. But if you tend to daily this anyways, I guess it's fine. So compared to with the previous generation, as well, despite being a diesel engine, this NVH is way better than before. Okay, sport mode. Okay, tends to wait up a little bit. Okay, here's this rocky part of Eaton Centris. Yeah, I'm amazed with this NVH. Way better before. As well, like with all BMW, these are running on run flat tires, and despite that, no issue whatsoever. And then it's a bit weird here with the toggle, you know, that kind of shift already everyone is calling it. I did notice too, there's an L mode. I'm not sure what that does, but I think that's just to hold. Oh, that's your manual mode. But there's yet again my big nitpick with this BMW X1. There is no paddle shifters whatsoever. So anyway, so just put you back into D, because like with most BMWs anyway, in manual mode, they tend to shift up automatically even though in manual mode. A bit too with the paddle shifters. And then here my favorite part with Eaton Centris. Let's put you sport mode now. Okay. Very eager to move forward now. Handling, what can I say? It's a BMW. Brake feel, very good too. And let's check out the acceleration. As well, remember this X1 is an sDrive. The power is only sent to the front wheels, so let's floor it. Oh! Okay, little bit of wheel spin there, and I noticed if you heard my foot already flat to the floor, it took a while to move forward, but once it gets going, it gets really going. So here's slower paces and just floor it. Ah, there's a delay. Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay, but yet again, wow, okay, I've never experienced such total delay with the BMW so far. So this is the first time I encountered one. So if I just mash the throttle a little bit faster now and then floor it, there's better. So at higher speeds, yeah, it's the throttle response is way better compared in slower speeds. So I think that's to compensate too with the dual clutch transmission. But yet again, as you can see from the shots, it's not lurching forward or backwards. Okay, very good with the transmission tuning with this BMW X1. So as far as I know, this is the only BMW, normal BMW that has a dual clutch transmission, because the rest of the lineup, like with the XT, X5, so on, they're all the automatic transmissions already, the 8-speed automatic transmissions. I'm very curious why BMW chose to put a dual clutch transmission with this BMW X1. So the same too like with the 1Cs, but yet again I had no complaint with that whatsoever. So here, U-turn test, turning circle, very good. Not to my surprise, as well being a subcompact crossover from BMW, yeah, maneuverability and visibility won't be such of an issue. The C-pillar is a little bit big, but yet again, this is a way shorter car than some of its BMW counterparts. And let's put you to efficient mode. And then here, going over humps a little bit quicker. Yeah, don't hear much of suspension thud. I mean, there is, but it's not as loud comparing with some of its, not I would say competitors, but some of cars in general. Okay, as well in efficient mode, yes, there's a little bit more delay with the transmission and the drivetrain itself, for obvious reasons. But I'm very astounded with this new BMW X1. Okay, I know I said earlier I prefer the older look of the X1, but driving dynamics wise, yes, I know I did have my nitpicks with the dual clutch transmission. However though, in all aspects, again, this is way better than the older X1, hands down. Would I take one home? Most likely, yeah. This is the only entry level left of BMW. Sadly, yet again, what I said earlier, there's no more BMW 1Cs, which is my favorite BMW of all time. But there are other BMWs I will try out soon, so stay tuned for that. When here, handling test. So handling test, zigzagging to left and right. It's, of course, one of the best ones in its class too, so I have nothing to complain about. Yeah, I can't get over this NVH. I mean, let's go to that rocky part again, here in Centris. Right now. Yeah, run flats, better NVH. Well done, BMW. So, for the cost of all of this too, this one cost 3,890,000 pesos. For its competition though, this is actually one of the more affordable ones in its class. So, as well, I highly recommend this hands down, and this is the top choice I'll pick against its premium counterparts. It's such a good all-rounder. And another thing too, besides my praise with the NVH, the engine too. Yes, it's a diesel engine. I heard a lot of the diesel drone too with the previous X1. Here, it doesn't sound like I'm driving a diesel vehicle whatsoever. So yeah, this is such a good crossover. And my love for X1s is finally back, because as well, my dad was a very big fan of the X1, the first X1 by the way. Madeline, nearly flat. Oh my gosh, the torque is amazing. So as well, being more power and more torque than the previous X1, this is more solid performance than the previous one. Hey. So yeah, that concludes my review of this all-new BMW X1. I might wanna take one home soon, but there'll be another car that I might wanna take home from BMW. Stay tuned for that review. So I'd like to thank everyone here again at Otaali BMW, to Miss Dimple and to Miss Nelsie. So these are our contact details, so you may wanna check them out here in BMW and give a shot with all of these all-new BMWs, especially this X1. So, let's first one more time. So, hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you with more BMW reviews coming right up. Bye bye.